Real Madrid absences against Manchester City in the UEFA Champions League. Football fans worldwide are eagerly anticipating the upcoming Real Madrid versus Manchester City clash in the 2024-25 UEFA Champions League. Real Madrid will be without 5 key players ahead of their crucial match against Manchester City in the Champions League 2024-25 season. All 5 absences are in the defensive line, including Eder Militão, Antonio Rudiger, Dani Carvajal, David Alaba, Lucas Vázquez. Real Madrid squad list for the match against Manchester City goalkeepers: Thibaut Courtois, Andriy Lunin, Sergio Mestre. Defenders: Jesús Vallejo, Fran Garcia, Ferland Mendy, Jacobo Ramón, Raúl Asensio, Lorenzo. Midfielders: Jude Bellingham, Eduardo Camavinga, Federico Valverde, Luka Modric, Aurelien Tchouaméni, Arda Güler, Dani Ceballos, Chema Andrés. Forwards: Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappé, Rodrigo Góes, Endrick Felipe, Brahim Díaz, Gonzalo Garcia. Date and venue for Real Madrid versus Manchester City in the UEFA Champions League, the Real Madrid versus Manchester City match in the 2024-25 UEFA Champions League will take place on Tuesday, February 11th. The Etihad Stadium, home of Manchester City, will host this crucial first-leg playoff match, which will determine qualification for the round of 16 in the Champions League. Former Real Madrid player motivates Haaland against his former club, his chance for revenge. In a surprising statement, former Real Madrid player Steve McManaman urged Norwegian star Erling Haaland to seek revenge against the Spanish club when Manchester City faces Real Madrid in the UEFA Champions League. McManaman stated that this match is the perfect opportunity for Haaland to show Real Madrid what they missed out on, highlighting that the Spanish Giants are struggling with defensive issues, which Haaland must exploit to score his first goals against them. So far, Haaland has failed to score against Real Madrid in 4 previous encounters, something that undoubtedly frustrates him, especially considering that Real Madrid was one of the clubs that made serious efforts to sign him before he chose Manchester City. Now, this match presents the perfect chance for him to break his goal drought and send a strong message to those who failed to secure his signature. Steve McManaman, who played for both Real Madrid and Manchester City, was clear in his stance when he told the British newspaper Mirror, "This is the perfect moment for Haaland to show Real Madrid what they missed out on. The team has severe defensive problems, and if Haaland doesn't take advantage of this, then when will he?" He added, "Let's be honest, this is not the same Real Madrid we saw last season. The team is going through a disastrous defensive crisis, and when one of the world's greatest strikers faces a temporary and shaky defense, it creates a perfect scenario that Manchester City, especially Haaland, must exploit." McManaman, who also played for Manchester City, continued, "So far, Haaland hasn't scored a single goal against Real Madrid, and that must be frustrating for him because he is a player who lives to put the ball in the back of the net. Real Madrid's defensive crisis, an unmissable opportunity for Erling Haaland. Real Madrid will enter the match with defensive absences, which could force Carlo Ancelotti to play Raúl Asensio and Aurelien Tchouaméni as center-backs, or even deploy Federico Valverde as a right-back. This situation leaves the team exposed to the Norwegian goal-scoring machine. On the other hand, Manchester City is not without its own defensive problems, but McManaman believes that attack is the best strategy. He stated, "Of course, Manchester City has suffered from injuries this season, but they remain the favorites to win the match at the Etihad. Real Madrid will try to minimize the damage and return to the Bernabeu with a result that keeps them in the competition." McManaman also warned against Real Madrid's ability to surprise in such matches, pointing out that the Spanish Giants always find a way to escape difficult situations, especially at Santiago Bernabeu, where crazy things happen. As we have seen in previous encounters between City and Real Madrid, crazy things can happen, especially at the Bernabeu. If Ancelotti manages to take his team back to Madrid with the score still level, he will be absolutely delighted. 5 players. Colina, FIFA's head of referees, surprises Real Madrid. After the referee's decision in the Atletico Madrid match, Pierluigi Colina, chairman of the FIFA Referees Committee, commented on the major refereeing controversy that erupted following the Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid match. He indirectly suggested that the opinions of Spanish refereeing experts, who stated that the penalty awarded to Atletico Madrid was neither clear nor sufficiently justified, might be valid. This implies that Real Madrid may have legitimate grounds to contest the referee's decision, which had a direct impact on the match result. At the outset, Colina emphasized the importance of fair and precise refereeing in football matches, particularly in major competitions like La Liga, one of the most competitive leagues in the world. He stressed that every refereeing decision, especially controversial ones, must be made according to the laws of the game and not under external pressure or influence. In his statement, he said, "Football is a fast-paced game, and sometimes decisions are difficult. However, in the end, the referee is responsible for making the correct decision based on what he sees on the pitch. This makes his role extremely delicate." The controversial penalty decision in the Madrid derby Colina addressed the refereeing incident that occurred in the 33rd minute of the match between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, when the referee awarded a penalty to Atletico following contact between Aurelian Tchouaméni and Samu Lino inside the box. Many Spanish refereeing experts argued that the decision was not 100% correct, as the contact between the players was not strong, and there was no clear impact on the forward's movement. Moreover, the ball had already passed, making the foul even more questionable. Experts stressed that such situations must be handled with extreme caution, as a wrong decision can unfairly affect a team and compromise the integrity of the competition. Colina added his perspective on the incident, pointing out that physical contact is a natural part of football but does not always warrant a penalty. He stated, "Not every contact between players inside the penalty area should result in a penalty. Other factors must be considered, such as the intensity of the contact, the direction of the ball, the player's intent, and the impact of the challenge on the play's continuity." With this statement, Colina hinted that the referee's decision in that instance may not have been fully supported by all the necessary criteria required to award a penalty. The role of VAR and the need for consistency in refereeing decisions. Colina referenced previous controversial refereeing decisions, noting that there is always a degree of variation in how referees interpret similar situations. This underscores the importance of video assistant referee VAR technology in ensuring the accuracy of crucial decisions. However, he emphasized that VAR is not a magic solution to all refereeing errors. It is merely a supporting tool and not a substitute for human judgment. At the Referees Committee, we are constantly working to improve the use of VAR to ensure justice in football. However, in the end, the final decision always rests with the referee, who is responsible for interpreting the incident according to the official rules. Colina. Refereeing controversy was expected, but officials must remain confident. Colina pointed out that the refereeing controversy that arose after the match was not surprising, as Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid matches are always under immense fan and media pressure, making every refereeing decision subject to intense analysis and debate. However, he emphasized that referees must be able to make decisions with confidence, without being influenced by external pressures. He added, "It is natural for there to be controversy after major matches, but this should not affect the integrity of refereeing. Referees need to protect their decisions from media pressure, but at the same time, they must take responsibility for any mistakes they may make." The importance of evaluating referees. After each match, Colina also spoke about the importance of evaluating referees' performances after every game, highlighting that FIFA and the International Football Association Board, the IFAB, have precise mechanisms to review refereeing decisions and ensure that mistakes are analyzed to prevent their recurrence in the future. He stated, "We review referees' performances after each match, and if a significant error is found, we analyze the situation and work on improving refereeing standards." Colina hinted that this review process may also include the penalty decision in the Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid match, suggesting that the decision could be discussed within the Referees Committee. Consistency in refereeing decisions is crucial. Colina compared this incident to previous controversial refereeing decisions, emphasizing that consistency is the most important factor in ensuring fair officiating. He added, "What sometimes sparks controversy is that similar incidents are handled differently, which can make teams feel that they are not being treated fairly. There must be a clear standard that applies to everyone in the same way. Real Madrid's reaction and the right to criticize. Officiating regarding Real Madrid's reaction, as the club strongly objected to the penalty decision, Colina acknowledged that every club has the right to express its opinion on refereeing, as long as it is done in a respectful manner. He stated, "Teams have every right to discuss refereeing decisions, but the key is to do so in a way that respects officiating and does not question the integrity of referees." Colina stressed that constructive criticism can help improve the standard of refereeing, but it must be based on logical arguments rather than emotions or personal biases. FIFA's commitment to improving refereeing standards. Colina concluded by reaffirming FIFA's commitment to improving refereeing, noting that mistakes may happen, but their impact on match outcomes should be minimized. He stated, "Our goal is to make refereeing more accurate and fair, so that every team feels they are receiving just decisions, regardless of the match's importance or the identity of the competing teams." Will La Liga's refereeing system face a review? Colina's statements have raised many questions about whether Spanish refereeing needs to be reassessed, particularly in light of ongoing criticism directed at referees in major matches. Although he did not directly criticize the referee who officiated the match, his remarks about the need to ensure decision accuracy suggest that the controversy surrounding this incident is far from over. This may push the relevant authorities to reconsider some refereeing policies to guarantee fairness for all.